Okay, let's continue. Putting together our historical contextual maps. Before the Great Reset of 1492, in Mexico and Central America, we got the Desertas. Henry the Navigator granted the deserts to the Order of Christ to Punta Tristal with a license to export salt. You can find Punta Tristal on maps. You can find that place on maps right near the salt mines. Matamoros at the mouth of the Rio Grande. The place name indicates the presence of Muslims in Monterrey. Got another one, the same as the previous one. Matamoros, Mo Killers. Got a couple of them. And you got Matamoras in North America, which is the feminine aspect. Metamorphosis. Get the point. Saying in the Mo Killers, because that's the land people who land get take. But you can still see some of the place names still around. Okay. Excuse me. 5 of them. You see the Cabo Desertos in our neck of the woods. So more than one Cabo Desertos. I've been looking, thinking about another one. We see La Salle right there, the island of the Salt. So when you get to that part, you Tres Punto. So let's continue. San Miguel de Allende, Mesquito Valley, which means the Valley of the Mosque. Remnants of the old place names Allende in the valley, which indicate the presence of Mosque. Cortez in his second letter of relationship mentioned Mosque in Mexico capital, Izúcar de Matamoros in southern Mexico. San Miguel de Allende, Let's check that out. Wale de Mesquito. I don't even know if I spelling it right or what. Nope. Valley of the Moss. San Miguel de Allende. Los Mesquites. Another Leon. Terms Lagoon, Palmer's River. The river is drained. It could indicate the border of Palma and even a continental Gran Canaria by extension of Carthage. So, the island of Palma. A river. I noticed the right map, but I don't see. Another Matamoros in the Yucatan indication of the presence of Muslims, which the Castilians does not confuse with idolaters. So you have to put that because that's what a lot of the history books try to say with the Spanish, but confusing so-called Indians with Muslims. And she know for a fact that Castilians ain't know the difference between groups of people. Cape Nam province. The Cape Nam. It's type of stuff to look up and you get the history on it. How you know where it's at. Approximately. Juana, which is Cuba. At the western tip was Cabo Afito, quoted by Columbus repeatedly in the course of a trip in 1494. And Juana is one of the monarchs of Castile. Corporal is Antonio. Anton. No, you see that? We wanna C.S. Nicholas. Hey, blind. Only saint I see is Miguel. They are given to the Corporal Alfredo. The New Spain fleet would sail between Cuba and Jamaica, past the Cape to reach San Juan de Ulua in Mexico. The one from Tierra Firme to reach Havana, where the fleets met for the return. So that's a lot of stuff right there. We got the New Spain, the New Spain fleet, and they meet up with other ships to go across so they don't get ganged or taken over by pirates or something. The Corporal of San Nicolas, quoted repeatedly by Columbus sailors, it was a step used between the two islands. So I remember seeing that. Okay, San Nicolas. I see that San Antonio, but it might be on another map. I know it exists though. It says Santa Catalina Island. So you got the Catalinas. Facing the Gulf of Honduras and the ancient island of Palma, which was also called Madeira in some maps in the 16th century. It appeared displaced in front of the name of God, which is a place right there. Nombre de Dios, name of God. It's the Cape of Thank God. Columbus come name all those things right there. St. Catalina, Jamaica in the middle of the small sea. Yeah, we know that. Jamaica always had the name for a long time. Jamaica. Marpequena. That's a good thing to do right there. Look up Jamaica and Marpequena in the same search and see those books contain both of those, because you know you're talking about the little sea on this side. Angra de Caballos. It kept the name from 1436 until the end of the 18th century, changing the archaism Angra for the term port. At the end of the 16th century, the resident changed port, moving it from Punta de Amatique, where it was possible to bow a wedding pair. In the 16th century, the Canaries began their slave hunts in the sport. Alonso Luis de Lugo captured the Mora Hubala and angered the Caballos. I remember we had seen in the last video what Lugo, I think that in the last video or 2 videos ago, Lugo and Guinea at war with Moors. Guana, Gaunajes, at the bottom of the Gulf of Honduras, from where Columbus went up in the search of Catayo, taking the coast to the left. Right there. Anger capitals, Guanayes. Palm Islands. It included Yucatan, perhaps up to the Laguna de Terminos, ending on the other hand on the border of Colombia. Now, all these place names predate every map that we got in existence today. The church had come around and get rid of all maps that been outside the ones that we got today, that have these names and place names and stuff on them. One they let slip and get away, but the Piri Reis map get away, and I forget his name, by a map getaway that he on the map the date predate when Florida allegedly been discovered. The map predate the date of Florida's so-called discovery. Just showed that discovery ain't really what that is. So, beginning of the highland and Gran Canaria, conquest of the kings of Castile. And this when you got Castile before Isabel, Castile and Leon fighting against certain Moors and Ceuta and Tangier and stuff like that, right? But they skip all that and go straight to Castile and Aragon, Isabel and Ferdinand. It produced sweet cane and cake and raw material of indigo, abundant purple morelis or shells, both on the Atlantic and Pacific coasts. So that's where King Yuba and Carthage and everybody getting those purple from. This area on both sides. See, the land of Canarias. Carthage Bay, Catasque, Puerto Real. The natives called the Carthage Catasque. This is how it appears on maps in the 16th century. It was in the land of Chief Cameron, or shrimp. Shrimp. That's what Cameron means. On Columbus' first trip, so I'll say that's what they start calling shrimps. This is the other way around. Cameron don't mean shrimp. Take on that name. On Columbus' first trip, Pinzon, who this dog 200 league sail extra, left Columbus in Hispania of Santo Domingo. So you leave him going by himself. Going to this coast with the Pinta, which was also called Hispaniola. From there, he command Indians in chalupas in search of Columbus. He was put in the Bay of Catasque, the last road of the conquest of Castile, before the Portugal island of San Miguel. The Spaniards call it Puerto Real. The, the gateway aroused the misgivings of Juan II. At that time, the isthmus was closed to Spaniards and Portuguese since 1490 because of a lawsuit for the terms of the conquest, which they maintained in Rome. And the Panama Canal already been there. You can see it's split already, right? See San Miguel. Called Espanola and as a whole, where it was Castile land. San Miguel and San Salvador, you can remember the primitive capital of Palma. Like I said, the last tape, every time you see somebody dealing with palms and palm trees, you're talking about either Phoenicians or Carthaginians. Corpus Grace to God. Cabo Ayojador. Or I guess Borjador. I probably misspell that. Yeah, Cabo Borjador. There ain't no such words with vowels like that. Departure Palma in 1436 by Pope Eugene IV to give the south to Portugal. A place the border in Cabo Borjador, renamed by Columbus as Cape of Gracias a Deus. Fishermen continue to use the old place names. It is possible that after the Treaty of Sintra, which, with the agreement of the parties, Corporal Borjador moved to Orinoco. So look up the city at Central. Juan Castellanos arrived from Venezuela on dry foot, placing him in the confines of La Guyana. So it's the old Cabo Borjador. You see the ship heading straight there. That's what Henry the Navigator started. That's why Portugal in the mix. Because of what Henry the Navigator what he was doing. By popular history, he ain't gonna take Henry the Navigator out Portugal this far out. They keep them out in the Brazilian area. Can't hide all that, so they gonna give you a bone. Land of the Canary Islands, we already see that. It began south of Gracias a Dios. The first Canarian port was Carabaro. Morabios Mountain, Mount Morabios, indicate Muslim presence in the governor of Castilla del Oro, Dan Fernandez de Oviedo. He preserved that the natives prayed in mosques and used Arabic words. Look up Fernandez. They should have been looking him up though. But they used to have this called Morbitos, and I think they have the area of the Mandincos. Oh, that's another place name in this area somewhere that I even got on this. When I do North America, it could be my own map that I put together from North America. I got a lot of notes on it already. I Mandingo. How I think Mandalay Bays. San Miguel Island, third Tiquera. It is included alternately in Madeira and the Azores, also in the Land of Blacks or Tierra de Negros, which Portugal called West Africa. Here's Tiquera. You know they had Primera on the last video, the first cross. It's the third. Puerto Querétaro, Columbus entered. It was in Hispaniola de Pinzon. Carthage, probably in the inlet that drained down the Diablo River in present-day Costa Rica. Location of the fortress, which appears on the map of Piri Reis. Benzoni identifies the governorate as the Canary Islands. The bride called it the native Carthaginians. So he called it, he the one who named it Cartago. Cartago Indiaro. The Carthage of the Indies. Where he called the native Carthaginians. You'll see that in the next video too. Formed the village by huts and wooden houses in the 16th century, was burned by the French. The population moved to the interior, forming Nuevo Cartago. So they moved and start a new Carthage on their ass. Veragua, region rich in golden muses. We used to put the gold on the mule. Where we travel in the gold sail, buy and sell. It's a gold mule. We talk about that in Africa, not in America though. But they do talk about jackals, road runners. Bethlehem River, Columbus entered on the fourth trip. He put the Gallican to Chalcalcum. The ship talk. When it stopped raining, he couldn't take it out. Lag artists or lizards river. As the name suggests, alligators abounded. It is likely that Pinzon finished in this river, the one he gave to the Rabida. Carthage River. Columbus sent battles to go out like the other river, because on the fourth trip he was looking for passage to the other sea. He had to escape from the natives who attacked him. Portobello, Columbus entered better the port than the name of God dialed the port. The fleets moved. And go look at Portobello, history and stuff like that. Name of God, Cabo Blanco. So yeah, see that Cabo Blanco on the 1600 map. Port of the Firm Ground Fleet, or the Tierra Firme Fleet. Before moving to Portobello, on Earth, animal species reproduce hardly. Cabo Blanco closes the Gulf of Nicaragua, rich in Moorish veins. Retreat, or the toilet. I just translating these terms because there's terms that can be translated to English and they be weird names, like toilet. Last port where Columbus touched, where the ships of La Cosa, so that's the map, La Cosa map that they forget to hide. Columbus was in 1494. The Aclamines, they were very rich. The Spaniards soon exhausted them. In the 16th century, Octavian Augustus' coin was found. So they found a Roman coin there. The Aclamines supposedly belonged to the Templars before them, before the Spaniards. Gulf of San Miguel. San Miguel today from Panama. There were Moorish veins and pearls. Gran Canaria. It must have been the name of all of South America. At the end of the 15th century, it was limited to present-day Colombia, including Bolivia and the parts of Peru. Its limits was Tenerife are not defined. Its limit with Tenerife are not defined. It included the New Kingdom of Granada. Its ports was isletas. So they had islands as ports. Inside it bordered Gomera. From this island with Tenerife and Hierro, it was said that Gran Canaria was there. So she's put that in quotes because the Gran Canaria of today is over there, not inside, not where it's supposed to be. Cabo de Vela, it is cited as a frequented port at the entrance of Lake Maracaibo, where Santa Cruz de la Marpaquena was. So that's the end of this one. Let me see something real quick. Really leave stuff like this hanging out. But they won't give you what it was before Colombia. Because when you get to Canaria, then you get into the Moorish history that they don't want to know. The Grand Colombia. Let me see. So the Viceroy of New Granada, they'll tell you that. Let's see if they give me something before that. And they started it very late. New Kingdom of Granada. Okay, 15. So you push the date back a little bit on this. 1538. Let's look at this. The name of God gonna be there because that's the remix, and that's the Columbus at the work of Carnegie. original. That's the Columbus registration. You can re-register the land in Veragua. Auckland. So they keep up with the Auckland mines. The Gulf of San Miguel. Like I say, the Rio de Congos. You see how this is the ancient Africa. Carthage right there. That's the new. I think it's. I know that's the new one, but. Those are the pearls on that side. Thai in Filipina. So you already know Felipe around when this map around. I ain't looking for the Moropitos, but they ain't got them on this map. Are they changing to something else? Zamba, Moro Zamba. You got Tenerife right there. That's how you know you in Gran Canaria, because that's what is Gran Canaria. Punta del Hidalgo. See the two rivers I've been showing you the other day, the Bona and the Abedes. We see that on the other map. See Las Palmas, La Palma, and Gran Canaria. Arequipe. Everything is pushed over here. And never done deliberately to hide the gold mines from over here, from other navigators. And Senegal. short. You see, terra firmi. That's what he come. That's what he come to create. After him, they started doing other things like New Kingdom of Granada and stuff like that. But it's ain't right there. Let me see. I gotta get all this. Yeah. And Rio de Oro, the whole Laban Rio de Oro to Castile. Let's check that out. Then we stop. But yeah, let's see something before that. Nope. Not before that. So you gotta come to this channel to get anything before 1492. They will not get into it. See, terra firmi. That's what Columbus came to do. Try to separate the history. That's the Rio de Oro. They moved to the here. Let me see. There's the only size you got on that. Veracruz. You search on Google. See another map that shows Castile de Oro right there, right across from right there, big ass Castile de Oro, and then became Veracruz.